Well, following on with a few more ideas that are in some ways quite closely related is our third speaker, Khalid Alsyed.
The title here is Producing Persona, which basically sums up a keen interest I have in both the production of film and construction of persona in general. And most of my work that follows from that seems to comprise of me deconstructing film and deconstructing persona in a way that I can then build these stills up in the wrong one. In a way that I can then build I deconstruct in a way that I can then build it together and develop a sense of understanding to then produce my own work, my own films and my own ideas through this method. And through this deconstruction, what I've become interested in is this idea that when it comes to questioning who we are, what we're doing, the things, it seems that we resort to this place of knowing, which in a way is a kind of reflective state, where we come back and we consider that the way we act and interact with other people isn't necessarily who we are, that we in some way create fictions of ourselves to then be able to communicate and interact with other people. And it's in this moment of resorting to this place of knowing that we become reflective on these different fictions that we then created for ourselves, to be able to then piece together a kind of narrative of who we are for ourselves. And it's in this sense that my interpretation of groundedness is brought forth, that we are inherently grounded to this sense of knowing, to be able to develop this sense of understanding of who we are. And from this from this idea of what I mostly became interested in was being able to take really stripped back identities and be able to apply narrative in some way, or develop a narrative or identity for this character. And I started involving this character that I used a few years ago, that for me was completely stripped back of identity in some way, and it seemed relevant to then apply to this project, this one film, where I would then consider what it would mean to develop narrative and layer on top of each other. And this film basically comprises of this one character who I kind of took images of and then decorated a set which is saturated with this aesthetic of this one character. I went on to carry on this process of saturation because it seemed to me that it kind of follows this idea that's what we do when we communicate identity with other people. We kind of perceive and process for ourselves and then draw forth a kind of saturated interpretation of what we've just perceived. And I like this quote from JCAD when he's talking about the matrix, talking about these levels of reality and illusion. He talks about how he took a third pill that would allow him to perceive not the reality within illusion, but the reality of illusion itself. And he goes on to talk about how if we are to lose a sense of these illusions as realities for ourselves, then we lose what builds the overall reality for ourselves. And this is something that I've applied to the filmmaking process where I'm paying close attention to the many levels of the realities that I'm putting on top of each other. And I guess the goal of producing this film is to abstract and to assemble this increasingly unreal narrative within film, using the persona, the characters, kind of develop themselves in some way. It's a shame that we've had this technical hitch that we're not able to show the film itself, but what we see in the film basically is a lot of uncertainty. When this set is cast back into itself, it's reproduced on top of itself, and revisited by me as the author, as a resort back to this kind of reflective state, and think about all of this as the many layers of fictional interpretations of, in some way, self-reflective. This animation ends up turning into a live-action performance of myself as hands come down into this set and begin to move the figures about, and this is a kind of completely done freehand, where the narrative just comes itself and is designed by this whole layering process itself. This is my presentation.